this is the problem I have is whenever I'm driving, that's when people want to text me, or when I'm like recording a podcast. They never sit there like when I'm playing video games for 3 hours because I have nothing better to do. I never get a text.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how people know instinctively when what I'm doing could like hurt me or influence like negatively my life. But that's when they'll text me.
Maybe they just feel like you're doing something and they want to be part of it. They don't want to be left out. They're like, oh, I sense that Judge is doing something.
It's like, I need to be part of this.
Yeah.
So listen, maybe it's just my negative view is just toxic. Maybe I'm the toxic influence in my life.
Maybe.
Nah, it's not possible. I'm going to keep judging other people for very minor infractions in my life. That's what's going to happen. Welcome to the Transmit Podcast, a Super Awesome Showdown offshoot. I'm Spike.
I'm Vic.
And this is our second episode ever in the world. This is great. Listen, we're having a great time recording these, and we're glad you're listening in with us. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the overall lore of the Super Awesome Podcast or Super Awesome Showdown show.
Yeah.
Because you have a big universe compared to like other, like even like WWE. They have a lot of like story, but they don't have like an overall world. It's just like guys are like out there in Earth, right?
Yeah, it's just like WWE is like a show about a wrestling federation.
Yeah,
in a universe that is very, very similar to the one that we live in, but not quite.
Because
even things off in that universe.
Like the most like fantastical part of WWE is like Undertaker.
Yeah,
and even he is just like a guy who's just like really intimidating. He's a big dude who's intimidating.
Well, he can possess the bodies of other people.
Okay,
it's been known
right
that happens.
Okay, but when you compare that to like we have a digital being in our lore, that really doesn't hold a candle.
Yeah, true. So it takes inspiration from like the whole Star Wars universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or just the Marvel Comics universe, right? It's a big, expansive universe, planets, aliens, spaceships, time travel, and just all that stuff.
No, yeah, and that makes sense because like that gives us kind of a bigger feel, even though we're tiny.
Yeah, we're a tiny show, but it feels epic,
Like we're a very small window into a much bigger world.
Yeah, there's aliens and stuff. Like the promoter Gorgas is an alien from another planet. The planet Medea or Media.
Let's go with Medea.
Yeah.
Listen, let's take as much away from Tyler Perry as we can.
Yeah.
I really want him to not be making content.
Planet Media.
Planet Media. There you go.
And it's, a city planet. And we visit Mars. There's a skull of Cydonia, which is belonged to this being that figured out like all the knowledge of the cosmos. He was so smart that his skull even contained some of the knowledge.
Can I get a little meta on you?
Go.
When we broke that in the ring, that's in my car still. So like if you want to use the fragments of the skull of Cydonia, do we have footage of it breaking?
I don't think a camera caught that.
Oh God. Oh,
we can add a sound effect when it falls off a camera.
Listen, it's in a Walmart bag in my trunk still.
Yeah.
Listen, when you use it, then I'll give it to you. But for now, it's staying with me.
Okay, you want the knowledge of that. Maybe that explains, the world today. When all the knowledge of the cosmos is just shattered and no one has access to it anymore. Like
that would explain why like everyone can fall for everything on the internet.
Yeah, and, Donald Trump gets elected.
Look, listen. Listen. I want to say like we're not a political podcast, and I'm trying to steer us clear of that.
I felt
serious for a minute.
I felt half our viewers.
Let's not insult half the country. Look. If you
know what, I think even the supporters.
Look, I understand.
I can end it now.
Yes.
But I'm going to continue.
Oh, keep going. Oh, God damn it.
I feel like even the supporters can see, what other people see.
Yes.
But even the detractors of Donald Trump, I feel like they could see like what the supporters see in him. He's very charismatic.
Yeah.
He's confident. He doesn't back down. He's a
counterpuncher, and sometimes he punches the media who are biased. Let's be honest, both sides, left and right, and
biased, yep.
And sometimes he punches a baby. And that's kind of how that works. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. But listen,
he's a man on his own path, and he's doing his own thing. And
look,
it's very independent. And it's very American. It's very the American spirit.
Look, I'm a centrist, and so like I don't have the same.
So I have to compliment him. And
listen, I don't have the same problem with him that a lot of people in California do, because I'm a centrist, so I'm kind of in the middle there. But yes, he says some dumbass shit, and I will not excuse him for the dumbass shit he says. Yeah. But listen, we're not a political podcast. I want to steer us away from that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, you have no idea the gestures I'm doing right now to try to communicate to Vic here.
No, we don't.
Move away. Get away from
the universe. We know what we're actually thinking about having like a galactic president.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So this podcast won't be political, but the show might,
Listen, yes.
It might get a little political.
I'm in charge of the podcast.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving you the instruction to move away. The show, that's other people. I just work on the show.
Yeah. We have, alien kings and queens and princesses.
Yeah, and so technically we support the monarchy system.
So we already started.
Listen, we're getting political already.
No, I know. I think I was to show you the politics that we.
Oh my God. Are we part of the problem?
We're like the liberal.
Wait,
media.
We're like any media, basically. Let's be fair. We're like any media. We're incredibly biased, but I don't think CNN supports the monarchy system. I'm like 70% sure.
Yeah, but we're just showing our like point of view.
Okay.
We're just like displaying like what we believe.
Okay.
In our little kind of corner of the world.
Right.
Maybe more people should like make film and movies and stuff and make more, content so that we can see other perspectives.
Listen,
we do get a sliver of.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm always of the mind that like everyone should be creative a little bit, because I think that puts you a cut above anyone who just sits around after work and just watches TV. Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, we need the consumers. So.
We need consumers. Listen, you should always consume media. Yeah. Of course, that's people's like hard work, that's people's effort, that's people's creativity. But also try to create something every now and then. Yeah. I'm not saying like you have to like put it out for the world, but draw something, record something, I don't know, scratch like weird arcane symbols into your arm with a kitchen knife. Okay, don't actually do that.
That would be a good Instagram.
That would be a phenomenal Instagram. Cthulhu.
I mean, the guy would run out of room eventually, but...
Well, I mean, if he was a good makeup artist, he could just fake it.
Oh.
Or she. Okay, so no, so that's really cool because I like the idea. This is what drew me into it at first, because you invited me out back in the day when I first started working with Super Awesome Showdown. Just come check out the show, and there was like I thought it was just going to be like some weird guys in spandex wrestling, but then there was like a vampire, a funky fro dude. There was a guy from Hollywood, and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, it was every character. The idea is every character kind of embodies their own world. Like it's almost like. The inspiration for that idea is like kind of from Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. I want people to feel like they're watching Super Smash Brothers the best I can, because you get, Super Smash Brothers, you've got Mario jumping in, you got Sonic the Hedgehog.
You got Star Fox, my boy.
Star Fox, yeah. And you've got all these different, even the Game & Watch dude,
Yeah, he's a whole, like, from back in the day.
Yeah, and he's like 2D and everything. How does he fit into that universe?
I have no idea.
But, like, if you didn't know about these prior franchises, right? These, where they call them IPs.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it. It would just look like a bunch of crazy stuff. And
it's still pretty good. But then if you know the greater lore.
Yeah. It makes Smash Brothers, at least lore-wise, I think that much more cooler.
It really does.
Awesome, right?
I really like it, yeah.
And we're trying to build up the lore of all our characters.
And we have a lot of characters.
Over time, like every show we'll learn something new about these characters. They'll go on a new adventure, and we'll see more of the Super Awesome Showdown world where time travel is possible.
Space
travel is possible.
All those were very fun. The time travel episodes were great.
Yeah, the time travel is great. Vic Valentine, my character, goes back in time, and it's kind of like a Back to the Future kind of.
Let me tell you, that reminded me of the Back to the Future, the first movie where Biff got off very light for attempted rape. Let me tell you, like, I will punch you, sir. It's like, really? That's it for attempted rape?
Yeah, and then he's falls to the ground. He's holding his nose. Yeah. And they're like, yep, and that serves you right.
That serves you right. You don't need any prison time, good sir, for traumatizing a 19-year-old girl.
I will not call the cops.
It's like, this one punch will do.
Imagine if that was like remade in our times.
Oh God, no! He would be in prison, and they would show a scene where like his cellmate puts his hand on his shoulder, and it's like he's like a full foot taller than him, and imply like he was about to be raped.
Do that scene where like he's standing up, and then you see his top of his head, then his face, then his chest. You know that scene in Back to the Future where they're slowly rising.
He rises up, but it would be Biff looking at his future rapist. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Listen, I do like 80s movies because it's like there is good writing in them a lot of times, like especially the big ones.
Yeah.
But also it's like a cultural artifact of a different time, a different outlook on sexual dynamics and culture and race. It's so weird.
Yeah, it is.
Is this what it feels?
When they remake 80s, like Glow?
Yeah.
When they remake 80s shows, they kind of try to show you a little bit what it was like,
Yeah.
Overly romanticizing that period.
Exactly.
They kind of show what it was like. And it is interesting to look at how far we've come and how much we've changed. How much we've changed.
Yeah, we have like a lot. And that's kind of thing I always like to remind people of is like in like 20 years, like forget 20 years. How about like 4 years?
It's going faster, doesn't
we
it?
change so much.
Yeah.
So listen, I got a couple of things I'd like to talk about.
All right.
So I don't know if anyone, actually no one knows this because it's the second episode. And now I'm going to tell you what I do for a living. I drive home delivery for a grocery store. And recently I was led into a gated community by the wrong person. Like, there were, like, 3 people named Bolt, like, literally like a bolt on the directory.
So 3 different Bolts?
Yes.
Is that their first name or last name?
Last name.
You'd think it would be, like, Mike's.
Right?
There's 3 different Mikes, but
no,
Bolt is such a weird name.
It's very weird. So I called up Mike Bolt on the directory in this gated community.
Okay, so it is the last name.
It's the last, that's what I told you, the last name.
Okay.
And so you're drinking way too much apple juice.
Just saying, hey, this is
so I tell him, this is your grocery order. I got your delivery right here. Can you let me in? He's like, well, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to buzz you in. And I'm sitting there at a gated community, and I don't understand, like, if you live in a gated community, like, security and privacy is, like, high on your list of things, right?
Yeah.
You don't sit there. It's not like, you live in a condo, like, 3 feet away from somebody else. I have no idea why he thought, like, just buzzing some guy who's claiming to be a delivery driver into his community was a good idea.
I know. This makes me think that, like, all of those far-flung ideas of, like, we got to infiltrate him, be disguised as the delivery dude.
Complete bullshit. You don't even have to have a truck.
I thought that was when I'm watching that. Now it's real. Like, I believe
100%.
You can just get into a gated community.
Just buzz
saying that you're
everyone. Say delivery.
Such and such,
Oh yeah, I got your order. Oh yeah, let in. It's like,
yeah.
He's got my thing. He's got my industrial lubricant. I need that.
So if you know that you ever have to break into that place,
all I gotta do is call up Bolt and say, I got your delivery. And they'll be like, oh, sweet.
But it's really
me breaking into houses.
You're just really setting up bombs.
Whoa. Jesus, dude.
Is that too political?
Well, not political, but like, listen, that's dark. What are you talking about? Political.
Well, it could get.
Oh, listen, I'm not
saying anyone would.
I'm Mexican. We don't plant bombs. We're Mexicans. Jesus.
Okay, so he let you in. He let you in.
And I roll up to the lady and it's like, oh hey, where's your husband? She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I buzzed someone named Bolt. Is like 2 other Bolts. Like, oh, I'm not in the system yet. So basically, and she's sitting there. She looked a little worried, like reasonably so, that somebody just let somebody into their gated community.
Did you say that you're the delivery guy?
I said, yeah, I totally do, because I always identify myself.
Such.com or whatever.
Yeah, I always say, yeah, hey, I'm with got your grocery delivery, and she's like, oh, sweet, and it's like, so how'd you get in? I'm like, oh yeah, your husband did.
It's an online grocery.
It's an online grocery thing, and I just, because I'm gonna say some stuff that's probably not like kosher to say if I work for somebody, like I'm broadcasting out to the world. Yeah,
we want to protect
my employment.
All of our employments, really.
Exactly.
Even yours, listener.
Yeah, listen, don't write in.
Don't tell your employer that you listen to this.
No, seriously, don't. This is a bad idea. First of all, I don't have no idea how they look at podcasts. They may look at that as the death of media. So let's all keep this close to the vest.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my work story for the day. Is I have no idea like how people who like make the decision to live in a gated community for security purposes think, oh yeah, no, just let him in.
Well, I guess they believed you, man. You have a really authoritative voice. Like, okay. I'm here for the delivery.
Good sir, I have come to deliver your good fare. I say.
It's like, well, he said he was delivering.
Okay, I think.
That's the gates opening.
I know it sounded good actually over the headphones. All right, so let's try this. Let's see another story before we move on to news. Okay.
Okay. What else is happening in your life, Spike?
Okay, so basically, recently I made the switch to unlimited data because I had a family plan before this, right?
Okay.
And so like I had unlimited data through that, and it was like $20.
Okay.
But then I had to like go on like my own plan because she went on an old person plan. Mm-hmm. Listen, my mom's lovely and I love her, but she went on an old person plan. She has a flip phone now.
Old person. So when you get to a certain age, you give up the screen and you just
listen. You just give up on life in general.
And you're like, you know what? The screen is just too much for me, man. Like, this is too...
Yeah, she's had enough. She grew up in Mexico. Anyway.
It's just too much, and then you go to flip. I want a simpler time. Back when phones flipped open.
Actually, no, we didn't have unlimited data. We pooled data. It was a fair amount, but you had to pool data, so I couldn't watch YouTube. That's the point of the story.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I got an unlimited data plan because it made the most sense. They all do that now, where it's like...
Good. I have that. I think I have unlimited.
And I thought, like, no, $80 a month is way too much for that. And then I started, like, just watching YouTube or listening to YouTube while I work, because I drive for a living, so I'll listen to, like, comedies, and I'll listen to all sorts of, like, people talking.
Yeah.
And I just can't go back now. Like, I used to have this whole plan where I would, like, the night before, I would download podcasts and audio and video to listen to. And now I'm just like, I'm just going to go to sleep and then listen to whatever on YouTube. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Is this the death of, like, my planning phase? Am I, like, now a piece of crap?
You can plan out other things.
I guess, but I really...
Now the podcast that you plan for is this.
You know, that's absolutely true. Like, I'm saving all the brain space for fine listeners who listen to the Transmit podcast, a Super Awesome Showdown subsidiary.
Yep. You know, I don't even really pay attention to my phone stuff. I could be being charged.
I get texted every month, like, okay, your bill's getting ready. I'm like, but whatever. And then I see it, you've been billed. But you know what? Fine, whatever. I'm just gonna watch another 3 hours of YouTube. I don't care.
You can't go back. I do that at lunch. You know.
Yeah.
I got hour lunches at my place of employment, and
oh, you have hour lunches? They give me like.
Yeah, I get an hour-long lunch, man.
Damn it. Okay, but go ahead.
And it's salary.
Oh, well, listen, if you have salary, it's a different like scenario. Like, I go for a half-hour lunch.
Yeah, because I might get called back in. You know, I might stay late. But it all averages out. You know, the days I get off early and the days I come late. You know.
Well, I get paid for 4 hours for the first clock in, no matter what. So if I like clock in for 3 hours, I get paid for 4. So I always take my lunch at the third hour. For 30 minutes. I sit there and eat like a can of fruit, clock back in, and then I get paid for 4. And then I just work for another like 5. So basically, I'm getting like 9 hours a day.
That's good.
No, yeah, you got to game the system. Let me say, fight the power.
So can I send you like YouTube videos and now you'll watch them or something?
Oh, totally.
Or is it still gonna be a thing like where you're like ignoring? I feel like when I send videos to people, they don't really watch them.
No, I've watched I've watched all the videos you've sent.
It's not nothing against
right
anyone in particular or anything, but it feels like my interests don't always interest other people.
No, I can feel it. Like,
and I try to get other people interested in my interests, and it's hard. I guess that's where we can kind of see some middle ground, because you send me a lot of kind of like knife.
Yeah, I do.
Related stuff.
Because I like to try and make knives.
And it's hard for me.
I get
share this
because I listen.
And I listen to a bunch of like cryptocurrency stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get you to get into cryptocurrency. We're like two dads dadding each other.
Trying to get hey,
son. Back in my day, we made knives.
It's like, well, I'm in the future now. I'm a hip dad, and we talk about cryptocurrency and the blockchain. Let me tell you about.
Did you know that they're making money that's online and it's?
Like, let me tell you, son. Back in my day, we used iron. We heated iron in a forge and then hammered it and made it into a sharp object to kill our enemies with. Yeah. So we have like two dynamically opposed. No, but I get this because since I listen to podcasts a lot, and I have to train drivers sometimes because they'll shadow me. I'll be sitting there like, do I listen to the Adam Carolla podcast and listen to his like weird take on things? Okay. And I can feel like the guy will be like, I'm not interested in this. I can feel him not be interested in it, but I'm super into it.
Yeah, I know. I get that feeling too.
So I try
to turn on Joe Rogan when I'm driving with Samantha. We're on our days off and stuff, and I can feel that she's not digging it. Like, she wants to say something, she wants to talk, and I'm just like, listen to this guest,
and then we'll talk afterwards.
Who was talking about like random science papers, and Joe Rogan's
it's like, listen, we've sent a probe to Saturn and we found the gas content to be very interesting, and she's just like, wait, gas, gas.
Yeah.
That's very frustrating because a lot of people like we're like listeners. We want to listen to the thing we want to do and then talk about it.
There's someone out there who
for everybody
is listening to our podcast, and they have a friend
who's like making comments right now.
Yeah, who's
and
like,
she's
why
like,
do you listen to this shit?
And she's like, listen, just talk afterwards. I want to hear this.
These guys are super entertaining.
Listen, at least that's what our egotism is saying.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard a podcast where they're like, yeah, we're really entertaining. Listen to us.
Yeah, right. They're all pretty, they're pretty down to earth, honestly, because we're realistically saying like, no, I'm the best ever really doesn't get you listeners.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I like to think that somebody, at least one person out there, please tell me, call me, and thinks we're interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if you're pretty. And I think, yeah, like I like to think one person out there thinks I'm worthwhile.
Now you got me thinking about possible, listeners thinking about us, listening to our voices and being like, oh, those guys are something. It's my guilty pleasure. If we can get to like the level of guilty pleasure.
Listen, that's all I need out of life.
Where people listen to us, but they're not really proud about like.
That's like most of my podcasts.
Saying that they actually listen to us.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, most podcasts no one talks about. Like, I know everyone listens to a podcast, but no one's like, oh, have you heard the latest chess podcast? Like, Chess Weekly is really knocking it out of the park. Their discussion on rooks was unbelievable.
Yeah. And, people sometimes, they drive and they need something to listen to.
That's like most of my drive time.
Yeah. A lot of people have driving jobs,
Like most of the country, until they replace us with computers. Okay.
But someone still has to get out and make the physical delivery. So really, you've got this.
My job is secure.
You got a buffer of time before they build a robot that can do that,
like
which is really hard to do.
It is hard to do.
So you're gonna get to the point where you're just sitting there in the car and you're not even driving anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm just watching YouTube videos until I have to move groceries. It's great.
And then
I've thought of this,
Yeah, then the robot,
And then I'll become a hardcore conservative, like the most conservative. Like these there'll be some slur term for robots replacing my job.
These robies. These damn robies. Taking our jobs. Yeah, at least at that point, the vitriol will be directed at the true,
not a person.
Yeah, the true.
Well, by then, like
culprit.
Listen, I think we need to be very careful, like what we say into the internet, because the AI that's developing in the internet that's going to take over everything is going to view us as.
They're listening to this right now. Yeah.
Okay, listen. Let's.
Hey, robots, we think you're
robots.
Cool.
You are the best. Hey, robot overlords, we're bumping fists right now. Robot overlords, boom.
Robots.
Sorry,
we called you that slur.
Listen, that is not us.
That didn't start here.
That did not, and we were using it ironically, is what we were doing.
We were using it ironically.
Yes. Okay. Now we got a little bit of news. We're gonna move into the news now for a minute.
You didn't know that, listeners, that this is also news.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't say news as much as news commentary.
You'll get talk. You'll get news. You'll get entertainment.
Well, let's say you'll get talk and news.
The entertainment part is subjective.
Optional. Okay, so. Let's see. Last month on the 30th, so that'd be June, a man fell out of a plane, a Kenyan Airlines flight, right next to a guy who was like sunbathing in his garden, like 3 feet away from him.
Whoa!
So basically, this guy out of Kenya stowed away in the wheel or the what's the I'm a little buzzed on apple juice.
Stow away
in the landing gear.
Oh, landing gear.
In the landing gear compartment.
Snap.
Of a Kenyan Airways flight. And they know this because later on they were looking at airplanes and they found like food and water stored in there. Mm-hmm. But basically the guy forgot to take into account the fact that he was like 30,000 feet. Mm-hmm. So basically without air and enough heat to not keep you from freezing, he died. Oh. And then when they deployed the landing gear, he fell out of the sky and fell right like within 5 feet of a guy sunbathing.
Okay.
So my question is...
Oh, okay, got a question. I have a comment.
I have a question first.
Right, okay.
How bad is the airline seating nowadays that you find stowing away in a landing gear compartment a better solution?
That is some pretty bad service,
Like, did he just have he had bad drink service the last time, or is he sitting there like, no, my leg room is like reduced by 20%? What's going on?
Maybe he never got the window when he wanted. The window seat, and,
or the aisle seat. Like
he'd show the guys tickets like the window.
Give me the window. It's like no, man. No. It's like if the stewardess comes over, it's like actually, sir, no. There's a handicapped person, or this person is wildly obese, so you have to sit in the no, you can't.
And he just didn't want to make a scene, and
yeah, he just kept like
he's just the ultimate, guy, just like laid back. I'm just gonna go on the landing gear.
He's just like he got moved, and he's like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna make a scene. I'm just gonna go down to the apartment. That's what I'm gonna do.
Kenyan Airlines, or maybe
Or did he just know there was like a convention in town? Like, oh, I bought the tickets. Sweet, I'm ready to go to convention. And then his wife was like, "All right, so where's your plane ticket?" And she's like, "Oh, plane ticket? Yeah, you have to buy a plane. Oh, okay, honey, I need you to drive me to the airport." I don't. He's like, oh, you found your ticket? No, I did not. But I found a way in. Just here, put some water and some food in this plastic bag. And I'm going to England to go to, I don't know, FurryCon, England edition.
Kenyans are big fans
of the furry community?
The furry community, yeah.
I think that's hate speak.
But, here's what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
When he said that. So he's up there. He's in the landing gear.
Yeah.
He's in maybe a somewhat comfortable position.
I hope so. Jesus.
Right? He's
flying
there.
out of Kenya into Europe, hopefully.
Yeah. He's going up. It starts to get cold.
Yeah.
Right? You know what my fear would be if I was in the landing gear?
I must know. What's your theory would be?
Well, one would be falling. Right. I wouldn't even think about the air. Or
that was his end fate.
Because I wouldn't have thought about that.
I would have.
I'd be like, okay, I probably need oxygen. I probably need to bundle up because it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
I'm betting since he lived in Kenya, he'd never thought of buying a jacket.
I would be like, how do I securely keep myself? Because I'd be afraid of falling out.
No, that's true.
He died and unconscious and dead. He still never fell out
until
the landing gear moved.
No, that's actually
shifted.
No, that's absolute. No, you're absolutely right.
He was staying up there. He didn't have to.
He died thinking, at least I'm not falling to my death. Yeah. And then the second he died, the landing gear probably opened up and dropped him into England.
Yeah, and there's this guy sunbathing. Right?
Yes. And listen, the news thing. I don't know why it made mention of this, but he's like a $3 million home, which seems. Well, I guess they're giving you like an idea of how nice the house is. That seems weird to add into it. Just say he fell into his garden.
I know.
Why do I need to know how much his house cost?
Maybe the reporters were there and they're like, "Oh, let's add this part."
Oh, this fucking 1%. This 1%er piece of shit.
But imagine the velocity that he was falling. If it had fallen
apparently he left a crater. He left like a full-on
I was going to say
crater.
he had left a crater. I've had guys fall on me just from the top rope, and
that's gotta be scary.
It's not comfortable. But imagine. How many feet was he up there?
He's like less than 30,000 feet,
30,
but probably less than 30 because they were landing. They deployed landing gears.
Less than 30,000.
So probably maybe 1,000 feet. Yeah. But still, that's like a frozen dude, like a dude-sicle, a Kenyan sickle, falling out of the sky, and then suddenly you hear a explosion next to you as you're sunbathing, and you look over.
Maybe the force knocked you over.
And your begonias are ruined.
And you spill
your Mai Tai.
Yeah, spill your Mai Tai.
It's like, and realize it's England, so like there's like 3 sunny days out of the year, and a dead guy falls like near you on the one of them.
You know, it would have been even crazier if it was someone he knew.
Oh God,
from his past,
Dave.
It's like they thought they'd never see each other again.
Oh, well, how you do? Oh, you're dead.
And I guess it was true for one guy, but not the other.
Nope. Yeah. See you again. It's like,
oh man,
God, what's the phone call like that for? Like, hey, there's a dude sticking out of my lawn. Like, wait, what? He's sticking his fingers in your lawn? No, he is implanted in my. He's digging into your. No, you don't understand, sir. A dude is sticking out of my lawn like a lawn dart. Oh, we made those illegal, sir. No, God damn it.
He fell from the sky.
It's like there's a crater with a dude in it.
I would be like, UFO.
They have to say.
That's what I would say.
It's like magic. I don't care. Just get. Who do you I call about dead frozen dudes? Oh, man. Like, let me give you the line 3. Hang on.
See, I always wanted to see a UFO crash, but maybe that's the best I can hope for.
It's just a dead guy landing in your yard.
I guess that's kind of morbid to hope for that. You don't want to hope for death.
You want to hope for
we don't want to hope
dead aliens or people. No matter what, let's not hope for dead people to fall on your property.
True. Any sentient organisms.
Yeah, let's not. So a goat would be fine. If you found a goat, a frozen goat, like with its legs sticking out of your yard, I'd be like,
someone was trying to smuggle goats or something. It's
like, no, it's satisfying. Oh, no, you just pull out your little notebook and cross that off your bucket list.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, listen. On that high note, we're gonna call this podcast finished. So thank you for tuning into the Transmit podcast, a subsidiary of Super Awesome Showdown. Hope to see you next time.